In this video, I'm going to go over everything I'm doing to make sure I'm ready for a data analytics interview. I'm going to go over both the technical and the behavioral part, and also be sharing some free resources that I'm using. Hi, my name is Godwins. I'm a recent grad who's naive enough to think that he can break into tech. I definitely don't have a technical degree. I actually majored in biology, but I had the chance to do some stats research and a few other experiences in data science and data analytics. Currently doing a data and information fellowship, but that's not going to last forever. So really working on my interviewing skills to make sure I'm ready whenever that comes to an end. Generally, there are two main parts of a data interview. You've got your technical and your behavioral. So whether that be data science, data analytics, data engineering, they're always going to have some technical and some behavioral. Some companies are going to break this up into 2 or 3 separate rounds, but you're going to have to show off your technical skills and then also your soft skills through those behavioral interviews. So for a data role, you're probably going to need to know SQL, Python or R, and some form of data visualization softwares like Tableau or Power BI. So I don't have much experience working with SQL, but to make sure I'm ready, I'm using a HackerRank SQL Prep. This is completely free. It's got 58 questions ranging from easy to hard, and I'm prioritizing the easy and medium questions since I'm looking for an entry-level role. Additionally, I'm also working through DataLemur, got SQL questions, Python, stats and probability, and a bunch of other resources. The founder actually DM'd me on Reddit because I shouted out his product. Pretty cool to see that the founder actually cares about the users of his app, so definitely try that out as well. Next, for your coding, so I'm prioritizing using Python instead of R. Personally, I think Python is just easier to learn and work with, but similar to SQL, you can use DataLemur as well, and also HackerRank. They've got a whole another section for Python prep as well. For Python, you probably want to look at libraries like Pandas and NumPy, and probably the part that I'm struggling with the most, data structures and algorithms. If you want to use NeetCode and HackerRank again, I think those are some great tools. Last but not least, you need to get your data viz down, learn the difference between a line graph, a bar graph, a histogram, why you'd want to use one rather the other for specific data sets. If you want to practice using the software, Tableau has a free version called Tableau Public. You can try that out and actually put some of your skills to practice. Don't sleep on Excel too. I actually use Excel a lot in my fellowship. You can still store and visualize your data through Excel, so you probably want to learn some common functions too. Speaking of Excel and Power BI, Power Query is another tool that they use in the industry. I got to do more research on that, so that's some homework for myself. Next, we're focusing on the behavioral interview. This is probably the most general interview type that you can see across a range of industries. These are questions like, tell me about a time where you overcame a challenge at work. Tell me about a time where you missed a deadline. These are some pretty tough questions, but the best way to tackle them is using the STAR method. The STAR in STAR method stands for situation, task, action, and result. You want to paint the picture with the situation. You want to tell them exactly what you were tasked to do, and then tell them about the action that you took. And then finally, also the most important, is the result. For these questions, the interviewer is interested in how you behave in certain situations, hence behavioral interview. So how I'm prepping for this is I'm just going through some of the most common questions and just basically building a bank of a bunch of stories that I know are relatable to a bunch of different situations that I can pull from in an interview. So prepping for an interview like this can be pretty tough, especially if it's your first time like myself. So I put together just a bunch of all these resources that I mentioned in this video, all in one place. It's on my Notion site. I'm going to link it in the description below. So please check it out. Let me know if I'm missing anything. Check out my previous video if you're interested in being a part of the journey. I'm going to be documenting all the steps I'm taking to make sure I can break into tech without having a tech background. If that sounds interesting to you, join the journey and see you next time.